who tipped off developers that the Greenbelt was up for grabs? That's one major outstanding question in the investigations that have swirled about the land swap, which raised property values for a connected few by billions of dollars.
As CTV's John Woodward reports, the Integrity Commissioner explored a connection between one developer and the Premier.
When I'm on the site, I can even vision homes, buildings, or the entire community, and I could even feel the parks and the kids playing in the park. That's what you have to dream about. And
starting in 2017, one of developer Shakir Rematullah's dreams has been to get this property on McCowan Road and 19th Avenue in Markham out of the province's protected Greenbelt, land preserved for agriculture and to prevent urban sprawl. Integrity Commissioner J. David Wake found Rematullah had a hand in a flurry of proposals for that property, as well as two others nearby in September of last year. In letters to Housing Ministry staff, lawyers from Denton's wrote, "We understand this information was requested by the ministry." But Wake could find no records of any contact from anyone at the Housing Ministry. When asked by the Integrity Commissioner, Rematullah said he believed the tip came through his lawyers. Those lawyers said they were acting on his instructions. When he returned for a second interview with the Integrity Commissioner, Rematullah said they filed a Freedom of Information request. But that request hadn't come back by the time the proposals were sent. "I find that Mr. Rematullah's position strains credulity," Wake wrote in his report, saying he can't make a finding as to who prompted Rematullah to ask for land to be removed. But I find it is more likely than not that someone did.
Is how much of this is insider dealing? How much of this is preferential treatment? That's what we're hoping to learn. I've not seen anything like this in Ontario.
Wake said Rematullah attended the Premier's daughter's wedding in the summer of 2022. For some, the fact that he was the only developer who had lands removed from the Greenbelt who attended the Premier's daughter's wedding is probably enough to point the finger at the Premier. But this fanciful connection is not sufficient for me to leap to that conclusion. The scandal has prompted the resignation of the Housing Minister and his Chief of Staff. The Premier's staff said the Integrity Commissioner clearly stated in his report that the Premier and the Premier's office had no involvement in the process or of specific site selection.
It's not going to go away.
Markham Councillor Karen Ray said there are too many questions. This week, a Liberal motion for testimony in a legislature committee was shut down by the government's majority. Ray thinks there should be a public inquiry.
Do an inquiry into what happened, put the land back into the Greenbelt, and let's all move on.
Rematullah himself responded to our emails saying, with regards to a small portion of the land removed from the Greenbelt, it is important to clarify that this request was made to the province in 2017. One of the best ways to build housing in Ontario is to maximize infrastructure investment we already have in place, and our intention was to do that so we could provide more housing for people in Ontario. He didn't answer our follow-up questions about why his timing was so good when he tried to remove the land again in 2022. John Woodward, CTV News.